Well, hello lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, we are doing an honest review of Generation Tux. If you don't know what Generation Tux is, it is a company that I have talked about multiple times here on this channel. And you guys are like, Jamie, we know who they are. But what I haven't done yet is personally seen the experience from start to finish. So I reached out to them and said, hey, if we create a video about this, like, how do you feel about sending us some free suits? And they said, absolutely yes. So while this video is not sponsored, we did receive access to free suit rentals in exchange for our honest review. Now, for me, I see a lot of pitfalls when it comes to getting people to rent suits for a wedding. And when reading up on Generation Tux and their whole policy and what they're all about, I was like, that literally ticks off every single issue, removes almost every single excuse that creates blockades around wedding parties renting suits. I don't know how they managed to build a business model that is literally this efficient and this successful, but I am so excited to be sharing the entire process with you guys today. So without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. Here's the issue that I see for most people when they are renting suits. One, accessibility. The issue of going to get actual measurements taken to make sure that they are getting a suit that hopefully possibly will fit them relatively successfully. Getting a member of the wedding party to go to a tailor or to go to a brick and mortar location to get the measurements taken is such a big task sometimes. And that can be oftentimes what I see my clients running into, those blockades, those timing issues of how inaccessible or how difficult it is, especially in the last year or so, how hard it is to go to an in-person fitting. Another issue we also run into when it comes to renting suits is the timeliness of it. So often it's such a short rental period where you get it a couple days beforehand and you have to return it like the next day or 2 days afterwards because your rental time is smushed down into such a small portion that it adds so much stress at the last minute, both for those getting married and the members of the wedding party, like rushing around trying to get this all figured out like 2 days before the wedding. It's a lot, and as a couple getting married, it's so difficult to manage other people getting that stuff done, especially when it's in a short time frame. And then the last thing that a lot of couples run into is the affordability of suits, especially if you are a career wedding party person. I know my brother has been a groomsman more times than I could count, and he has been through a fair amount of suits. If you're gonna ask some of your dear friends to wear a specific outfit for your wedding day, you wanna make sure that they are not spending an arm and a leg. Of course, finances are relative to a lot of people. What may be considered cheap for some isn't for others, but you definitely wanna find something that feels affordable for your wedding party. And lastly, this is kind of like just like an add-on for me. I don't know if I said lastly for the last one, but this is like the actual last one. You wanna make sure that it's like a modern fit. You want to make sure that you don't come out looking like you did at prom. I think that when you're renting a suit for a wedding day, that is not the look that any of us want. We definitely don't want it to look like we borrowed it from a family member that's clearly not made for you. We want to make sure that it looks like it is meant to fit you. So let's go on through the ordering process with Generation Tux. First of all, they've got tons of suit options for you to pick from, which is absolutely wonderful. A bunch of different tie options. They actually also offer color matching. If you send in a swatch of a dress that you want them to match, they do this free of charge, which is really cool. So once the couple decides the color of the suit, the color of the tie, shoes, belt, etc., because you get all of those as a part of your rental package if you want them. It's then just a process of the wedding party logging on and inputting their body shape. Here's what's unique, I think, about this process is Generation Tux does not use measurements. And I think that that is one of the biggest, like I said, it's the hardest, it can be so hard to get some members of the wedding party like into a tailor or into a brick and mortar store to get their measurements. So this removes that excuse entirely. Like I kind of didn't believe that this was physically possible, that we could just explain my husband's body shape, his height, his weight, and his build, and then they would send the perfect suit. It didn't compute for me. I was like, what in the Sam Hills kind of algorithm do you have behind the scenes that actually makes this work? And if you follow me on my personal channel, then you saw when we actually put together this order a couple months ago and how much we laughed over like the little avatar body shape changing. It's very entertaining. But all in all, the process was a handful of minutes and then we were completely done, which knowing how much my clients go through to get people in to get measured and then seeing how quick this process was blew my mind. But of course the verdict had to be held until we could actually try the suit on. It's all cool and dandy if it takes like 7 minutes maximum to put in your information to make sure you get the right suit size, but you have to actually make sure you get the right suit size. It doesn't make sense to me still. I don't know what sort of sorcery is happening behind the scenes, but Then we got the suit. Y'all know me, I love good branding. Neatly packaged into a garment bag with absolutely everything that we needed for the wedding day. Now, typically for the couple, if you want, you can do a free at-home try-on much earlier in advance. When it comes to the wedding party, they will receive it about 2 weeks in advance. That gives them ample time to try on all of the pieces, and if something doesn't happen to fit well, they can remedy it within a matter of days. So even if there was any nervousness about something not fitting properly, knowing we had that 2-week window definitely put us a lot more at ease, because anything that didn't fit, we could send back and get readjustments for, which did happen to one of the members of the wedding party. The pants didn't fit quite right, so he had to send them back and got a new pair within 4 days. That doesn't leave everything for the last minute, and then all of the stress falling on you, because you have to chase them around and make sure that they're getting this done, which, by the way, Generation Tux will actually also follow up with your wedding party on your behalf to make sure that all of their stuff is inputted so you don't have to, just like checking another thing off your list. So how does the suit actually fit? Let's take a look.
Cool, it has a little stretchy thing.
Nice.
Those are nice.
How's it feel on your neck?
Good, yeah.
Very glamorous. Quick, give me a model. Give me a model. Give me Zoolander. Give me.
It feels so weird.
Does it? Just pretend that the Lightning McQueen suitcase isn't right there. Tell me your thoughts.
I like it.
Could you expand upon that maybe just a little bit?
Yeah, no, it fits great. It does not make me look boxy, which has been my experience in the past with other suit rentals. Very boxy. Kind of feel like high school prom. This is not. I actually, I was just telling Jamie, I would buy this. I would imagine this is, I have one suit that was made to fit me, and this is the closest to it.
So this is as close to your custom suit as you've ever had?
Yeah.
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 You look really good. You just had to sneak a little of your personality in there.
So I was concerned about the size of this shoe because I'm a 10.5 wide, and the wide is key. Sometimes I go up to 11 just because the shoes are too narrow. And we got 10.5 and they actually fit, so I was surprised about that. Overall,
if you had your choice of where to rent a suit from, again, based on your experience, where would you go?
Generation Tux. Easy. All day.
This is the best suit I've ever seen my husband in. Other than the suit, the custom suit that he had done for our wedding day, this is the best suit I have ever seen him in. And I've seen him in quite a few that were not successful. And for a man who literally lives in Levi's, Hanes, and Carhartt, you would be very surprised by how particular and picky he is. So to have him be that highly complimentary is, one, basically unheard of unless it comes from Bass Pro Shop. And two, means it was a solid freaking suit. But don't just take my husband's word for it, because literally every single member of their wedding party wearing suits had a wonderful response to their experience. All right, so why don't you tell me about your Generation Tux experience?
I loved my experience with Generation Tux. It was so easy to order online. It literally took like 2 minutes, and it came fitting better than places I've gotten it tailored.
Oh man, I bought a $1,000 wedding suit for my own wedding, and I got this from Generation Tux, and it fits just as well. And I spent 5 minutes online filling out my body measurements, and I'm good to go.
Go ahead and tell me, what was your favorite part about ordering from Generation Tux?
I think my favorite part about ordering from Generation Tux is probably the accessibility of it. It literally took about like 3 minutes to fill out the entire website. And something that means more to me than anything is if you look at the legs, I am 5'7", and I have the leg length of someone who's 5'2". And I emailed the lady because I was nervous, and she sent the perfect measurements, and I didn't even have to send it back. And it's something I'm always insecure about. That's never happened to me before buying a suit.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, 100%. It was literally a shocker. I was like, I couldn't believe that they like got the right height. I took a photo, sent it to Chase and Mackenzie, and I was like, it never fits the first time. It felt nice to not have to go to a tailor, get them shortened, tightened, all that stuff.
It fit right.
It fit right.
My experience ordering through Generation Tux was pretty simple. You know, I'd always been asked for measurements, but it's kind of hard to get them. I put in just height, weight, typical things, build, and it was great. It was easy. You know, I like stuff to fit a little bit tighter. More of a modern fit, and it was great.
My experience using Generation Tux, super user-friendly. All it was just kind of a survey, asking your body type, your height, just kind of basically your general size. Honestly, I was surprised it fit perfectly. And that's not just me rent it out. That's just
Right?
like, it fit perfectly, and I was surprised. I'm just like, I only listed a few like basic things, and then it just like it came in the mail, and it was just perfect.
Yeah, it's insane how you don't send in numbers
Yeah, no.
and they're still spot on.
It's just spot on. It cuts the fitting process, cuts the measuring process, just gets you the tux that you need right to your door, which is incredible.
You are really using Generation Tux to the best of its ability right now. You look fabulous.
Generation Tux has been a wonderful experience. I received my suit in a great amount of time. Customer service was excellent. There was something wrong with my pants, but like within literally 4 days, they were able to send me a new pair, which I am wearing now, and it fits perfectly. Customer service is beyond what I can expect, and the company is amazing. So it was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in a wedding.
We had such an amazing experience that it was a few short questions and they were able to get everything. It was surprising on the questions that they asked, and it came back and everything was perfect. And I had a few guys that maybe something didn't work out great, but within a few short days they were able to get the new thing that was able to fit perfectly. It was so easy to get the things. It took about 5-10 minutes in order to get the things that I wanted.
You've had experience with a bunch of different suit companies. If you had to recommend one based on a myriad of criteria, which one would you recommend and why?
I would recommend Generation Tux. It was so easy, and for guys, all they need is a few short questions, and to know that my groomsmen were good, that made me feel great.
If you had to rent from a suit company again, where would you go?
Generation Tux.
Yeah!
Yeah, if I have to order from anywhere again or recommend it, I'd recommend Generation Tux. I think that their customer service is incredible. The only thing I would change is to get real ties, because these are clip-on ties, and as much as I love that, I don't love that. I'd rather tie my own tie.
Where would you tell the groom to order from?
I would order from Generation Tux.
Hey, there it is.
I mean, I almost did this for my wedding, and I'm kind of starting to think that maybe I should have.
If I had to rent a suit again, I would recommend Generation Tux.
Cool.
It just makes it easy, cuts the fitting process, which is always weird and not fun. And Generation Tux just makes it easy, so I would recommend Generation Tux.
Their service is probably one of the best I've ever been a part of. They respond quickly, and they are all about their customers and their clients, and they just want to make sure that everyone has the easiest experience possible. And Generation Tux, I have you to thank for this, basically. So, thank you.
Y'all, I've recommended this company for quite some time, but to be able to have a first-hand experience from start to finish on how successfully they manage suit rentals, I am a committed fan. I am a raving fan. Based on the responses of everyone who rented suits and my husband's personal experience, I cannot recommend them enough. You've seen me do reviews of wedding party attire on this channel before, and it has not always been successful. And I have to tell you, I am blown away by our experience with Generation Tux, and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you guys. So if you guys are interested in checking out Generation Tux, they have so generously extended a code to you guys, Jamie Wolfer 2021, for 10% off of your tux or suit rental. This offer lasts until May 20th. Be sure to read the disclaimer down below. Gotta make sure we got all of the legalities in order, right? So that's all we have for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really enjoying this honest review series because I think if we get the opportunity to try it first for you guys, then it could either really help you out or help you to avoid something that might not work best for you and your spouse to be. So if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below. Be sure to check out Generation Tux for your suit rental needs. Hey! And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next week, bye guys!